And good evening. We are live here on Sunday, September the 13th.
14th, Mary, 14th.
Today's 14th. Pardon me. September 14th. Time flies when you're having fun. Welcome to Let's Talk Real Talk on Parental Alienation. And tonight's topic is weaponizing the police in order to get access and custody to the children during a divorce in family court with Andy Martens and our special guest. We just lost him, Kristen Aiken from Tennessee, USA. Kristen is on the top of the Tennessee mountains, and we keep losing him. So let's hope he comes back soon. But anyways, welcome, Andy. Good to see you. How's the Sioux? Andy's from Sault Ste. Marie. I'm from Hamilton, Ontario, just 30 minutes outside of Toronto. Andy's about 6 hours from Toronto, so we're not that far apart.
Maybe 7, just northwest, 410 miles northwest of Toronto.
Ah, okay. So that's not that far.
6.5 hours to Barrie, and so, yeah, about 7 hours, give or take.
Okay. So we're going to...
We keep losing our guests, that's what happens when you stream live.
I know. This is...
You're not guaranteed of anything, especially when a guest is on the phone.
Well, that's it. I do all my podcasts off the phone, and it seems to be okay, but I'm in bigger parts of the city than most people that, like in Tennessee or across the view.
I've never done a show on the phone, Mary, in 5 years of podcasting. And I don't know. I just don't like it, and I've never done it. I've seen our guests over the years struggle with doing it on the phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have. The reception, and we have an example here tonight where the phone, it can be done, but you have to have a really high quality phone to do it properly. Like you have what, an iPhone or
no? I have the Samsung multimedia. I have the top phone.
Oh, did you get another? Wow, you must be rich, Mary. Now, I have a basic Samsung S24. Oh, there we go.
Okay, we got Kristen back. Welcome, Kristen.
Yeah.
So
I found a better signal. I'm higher up on the mountain. I'm in the trees.
You sound much better.
Hey, can you see Granny of the Beverly Hillbillies or Jed and Jethro? They were in the hills of Tennessee.
Well, I actually grew up in the Adirondacks of New York, Whitesboro, just outside of Utica.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And that's home of the Iroquois Indian.
Yeah, my aunt used to live down in Utica. Cool. I have family in the States, too.
What's your favorite wrestler? Hacksaw Jim Duggan from White Plains, New York?
Yeah. He was an old favorite of mine, yeah. That's, old Rowdy Piper and Lincoln Steamboat.
Roddy Piper was Canadian. Anyway, let's get on with the show, Mary. You got to walk your dog, so you got where time is going here.
Yeah, it gets dark here quick. Yes, so thanks for tuning in with us, everyone out there, alienated parents, children, grandparents. We have our special guest, Kristen Aiken, who's an alienated father of 3 daughters. He hasn't seen his children in 7 years due to multiple false allegations. He also had false arrests, so he was one of them, no different than me, who lost his children due to false allegations. And because you probably were cleared of all false allegations in criminal court, you still lost your children. Is that how it works? We're going to get Andy to ask you a few questions, but while I share this show, I'm going to ask you to start from the beginning on how this all happened 7 years ago. Go back 7 years and just briefly give us the description.
Okay. Around 2016, I purchased home for me and my children in Annapolis. I was living kind of simply and saving up enough money to buy this home, and I finally bought a home. And just one day, my kids just didn't show up, and then I kept making phone calls, and arguments ensued. And finally, I got my children, and then my children pretty much said one thing to me, and I got really angry. And what they told me was, Dad, we just visit you. You're only supposed to spoil us, and this isn't our home. And I worked so hard to get to that point, and it made me so upset. I yelled at my children. I broke a chair and yelled at them. And these are young, they were 15, 13, and 12 at the time. But still, it's sometimes you got to be a parent and you can't walk around on eggshells. You got to put your foot down. And then she came with the police, my ex-wife, took the kids. And about 8 months later, through arguing with them and her, I finally filed court paperwork by myself without a lawyer. And then she already had a lawyer already ready, apparently. And they had a big booklet of all these arguments that I had with her and my children. And I couldn't fight it in court because, I had arguments with my kids because I haven't seen or spoken to them in almost 8 months, except for during arguments online. And they weren't actually arguments because they're just text messages back and forth. I don't even know if I was actually texting my children, because we're on some kind of messaging app to where they can actually delete their messages from my screen. And I can't, I'm not the one to sit there and take screenshots of everything, because I'm the dad and I'm just trying to put my foot down and be like, look, I bought you a home. These are your bedrooms. Get your stuff together. Let's get this looking like a house. We got a baseball field down the street. We got a theater. We got game. We got things we can do. All that was taken away. And so the last, during court, her lawyer, the judge said she's not allowed to leave North Carolina with my kids, but her lawyer slipped into the court order that she can leave if she deems it necessary. And then on the last day of court, asked the judge to put a no contact order between me and my kids. And he did for a year. And so I stopped contacting my ex-wife and my children, and the years went by. And 7 years later, my daughter Caitlin called me on April 7th. She's now 22 years old. She turned 22 on June 13th. She called me April 7th. She said in secret from UNC Charlotte College. And she originally called and said Dad and hung up. And I was at work at Kimbo's Country Cooking dishwashing at the time. And this was the first time I had her phone number. So I called it right back. And we got to talking, and I asked her if her mother's been keeping her and her sisters from ever seeing or speaking to me and my family. And she said yes. And then I started to cry. She started to cry. She said she loves and misses me. She told me to stop crying. I told her I can't help her, and she needs to call the police. And then she said she discussed that with her sisters and that she had to go because she was going to class. And then that was the last I heard from her. So I showed up April 20th, which was Easter, and I didn't talk to my kids. I showed up to their neighbor's house who didn't know me, and I got to talking to him, and he finally realized what's going on when I told him my side of the story of what's going on between me and my daughters, and that they haven't seen or spoken to me in 7 years. And he thought it was a good idea to go and talk to my daughters and say that their dad is next door and that they might want to come see him. And I told him not to do it. And he went and he did it anyways. And the next thing you know, the place is surrounded by police. And I told the guy not to do it. And we just discussed me just spending the night and talking over some beers about my kids. And because he knew I was from Tennessee, this is in Charlotte. he knew I was in from Tennessee and sleeping in my car because I, up here on the mountain. And my ex-wife trespassed me from the property. The police forced this man to trespass me from his property. And so I left. I didn't go to jail, just got trespassed. Everything's over. So I got the bright idea to show up on my daughter's 22nd birthday, which was June 13th. And so I showed up June 12th, and I was walking around outside, not on their property, hoping my daughters would come outside and talk to me. And while I was out there, I was counting sidewalk tiles because I took big pieces of chalk, and you can see it in my videos of where I wrote happy birthday down the sidewalk to my daughter, Caitlin. And next thing you know, 3 police officers surround me and tackle me and try to get me to the ground. They don't tell me what I'm being arrested for, but apparently it was a stalking charge. My ex-wife, who I haven't seen or spoken to in over 7 years, filed a stalking charge. And I still haven't seen or spoken to my children at this point. And now I go to jail on the 13th, and it's a stalking charge, so I'm automatically in there for 48 hours, and I get out on Sunday, which is Father's Day. And I walk about 3 miles back down to the McDonald's to where my car is. Get in my car, and I leave. Well, while I was in jail, I got served 50B papers, which are a domestic violence protection order, while I was in jail for them 3 days. And what it included on there was my ex-wife and my children, until I went to court to fight it. And what she had to do is put 2 adult children on a 50B protection order. And she can't do that. And I'll get back to the court case. So I got out of jail. My court case for my stalking charge is October 10th. I had a 50B court case June, I think it was like 16th or something. It was like a Thursday or a Friday. And when I showed up for that court date, it was my original judge, Gary I won't say his name. The original judge who presided over my custody battle, who put my children into this position. And there's other side stories to that. Me and him have a little side beef going on, where him and his buddies tried to throw me in prison for 15 years, but that didn't work. But he recused himself. And then I got this other judge, which was on the 27th of June. And in the courtroom, she took my 2 adult children off of her 50B and left my 17-year-old on there, who's going to be 18 October 3rd, which is before my court date, October 10th.
What is a
October
50B?
10th. It's a domestic violence protection order.
Okay.
It keeps me they can put any distance on there, and I got 2,000 yards that I have to stay away from her and my youngest daughter, but the judge specifically said in the courtroom, basically told my children to stop being victims and told my ex-wife to stop being an abuser. She told my ex-wife to stop interfering in their children's relationship with their father, and then told my children who were in the courtroom that their mother can't interfere with their relationship with their father anymore. And if they want to meet me 2,000 yards at a Walmart, they can. So now the judge acknowledged the abuse in the courtroom and is basically telling them to stop being abused, So I'm here furious that this woman did this, because I still haven't heard from my 22-year-old daughter, who called her dad in secret and said she loves and misses her, and that her mom's been keeping her from her father's family this entire time. It gets even worse. I found out some more bad things that happened and got covered up. I'm just waiting for my October 10th court date. It's going to be epic. I don't know what's going to happen because I'll probably walk away a free man from a stalking charge, but my children won't be free
No, your
still, even
children
though
will never
it's
be
money.
free.
No.
No.
So I did
Where have
what
you
I
heard
can
this
do.
story before, Andy? One sec, Christian. Where have you heard this story before, Andy? I mean, how many stories are we going to hear this way that
Well,
parents
from
are
your
losing their children on false allegations and false arrests? You know, stalking your children. That's just horrifying because they're your children. You're not stalking them. You're trying to see them, protect them.
The stalking charge was on my ex-wife. She didn't
I
include my children
understand
on
that,
that.
but that's part of
Yeah.
your child too, because your ex-wife is holding them.
Yeah, they haven't been taught how to drive a car.
Well, that's it. So
They,
you're not really
they
stalking
never,
your wife. You want to see the children. Your wife's got nothing to do with this anymore, right?
yeah,
They
that's what
shouldn't
the
stop
lawyer's
you from your
doing.
child.
Yeah. This is an ongoing court case right now
Yes,
because they're adults now, but I got a stalking charge that I got to deal with, which is on the criminal side. But it also brings to light what's actually going on with my children
right. So
because
is
this
this
goes a lot
stalking
deeper.
charge is this stalking charge and good for the community out there, for the public to see that this is what their taxpayers' dollars are paying for, your stalking charges, when you only want to see your child? This is what we need to bring to
Oh, it gets
the
a lot.
court system to say, look,
You,
we're not stalking our children. We want to see our children. That's your
it gets a
child.
lot worse than that.
Oh, I can imagine. I've been there. I was arrested too, 20 years ago. This is
No,
all,
no, no.
this is not,
Do you want to hear the other story about what I've learned? Well, since I stopped communicating with my children, in 2019, the judge signed the court order. In 2019, my children stopped seeing their therapist of 10 something plus years. Okay. In 2019, my ex wife gets a job all the way across town at a school as a secretary. What happens around 2020? COVID. Everything's on lockdown. Everything's confused. Well, she's got a last name that's totally different from my children's last name. Her last name is a lot longer and more sophisticated. And she enrolled my children under their name and never told anyone that they were related. And for
right. That's a
years,
tactic they use. Right.
for years she worked at the school as a secretary, and the principal, when I contacted her many years later and let her know, she found a note in my daughter's folder along with the court order instructing the teachers and counselors not to talk to my children about their father. And then 4 months later, after me complaining to the school district, she's no longer the principal at the school and she's no longer able to be contacted, and she's making $100,000 more. My ex-wife was no longer the secretary of the school, but she was getting paid by the school district to still abuse my children at home. And I think they ended that this past year because I brought it up again in a news article, and I think someone else complained. See, us fathers can't save our children.
Sure, you
There's
can.
nothing we can do. We can point it out, and we can pay for lawyers and keep, when they're young, we got to pay to keep them in our lives. But once they hit the teenage years, and you got to explain to them, look, this is what's going to happen to you, and then they don't believe you. I told my kids their mom was going to take them away from me forever. My kids laughed at me and called me a liar. And that was the last time they seen me.
And
That
that's
was
the
back in
last thing you should
2000.
have told your kids. But this happens to mothers too, Kristen. You can't say
Oh,
that. There are
yeah, yeah,
fathers
yeah.
who do this.
Oh,
So
yes, there are fathers.
this is,
That's even worse.
what's that?
Fathers even do worse.
Yes, they do. They would set the children
Yeah,
on fire before they would let the mother see the child.
yes, they
That's how
would.
bad a
And that's
father can
crazy.
be, because fathers don't handle the stress just as good as a mother would. Mothers are there to do, they're multitaskers, where a father just focuses on one thing. I'm not knocking fathers. I was raised with 7 brothers and a father. I know every move a man will make, from a child to an adult. And I see what they are capable of handling, and they lose their cool a lot quicker. But it doesn't mean they don't get to see their kids. I mean, a good mother always promotes the relationship with the father. A father will punish the mother by using the child. So what your wife may have sustained her own kind of trauma, and she's taking it on you, no different than a father would on a mother. Sorry?
My ex-wife was alienated from her father. My
And mine
ex-wife
was
was
too.
alienated from her father by her mother. Yes.
It's a
And
learned
I do.
behavior.
It is. And I feel bad that she's doing this. And there's no way to make them stop.
No, there isn't. But we
There
can
is no way to make
educate the
them stop.
judges and let them know that, the history. They need to go back and see the history of the families to see where the alienation starts. Right, Andy? I mean, your family started it way, way, way back, 20, 30 years ago.
Well, exactly. And you've got to, I was just going to ask our guest about the beginning. You met this woman, and did she kind of love bomb you, or you had any idea what you were headed for?
She was just younger. College. I was just out of college. I had a career already, and just we had the same interests. And then she got pregnant, and then we just decided to start a family. And then apparently her mother had other plans.
Yeah,
Her
we've
mother.
seen this and time again. It's usually driven, it's learned behavior, and it's driven from the parent. There's people in the alienator's family that are driving this. They have a hatred. And
Yeah, like her brothers don't want nothing to do with her and what she's doing with my kids. I talked to her brother, and he don't want me to talk to him ever again, and he said he doesn't want anything to do with it.
Right.
So,
but the hate is there. Yeah. So I'm kind of confused. You have how many kids do you have in total then? 3?
3 daughters.
Right.
Yeah, one's underage at the moment. One's 17, and I got a 19 and a 22-year-old.
So so you met this woman some time ago. I'm assuming they're all your children?
Yeah, I bought them a home in Indian Trail. And we had Caitlin, and then we didn't have kids for a while, and apparently her mom decided for us to have a couple more. And then, right after that, so we had a couple more daughters that were pretty much back to back, because they're like almost less than a year and a half apart. My youngest two. One's 19, the other one's 18. Yeah.
My kids were the same. They were 15, 17, and 18, so they're pretty tight. And
I bought them their own home.
Pardon?
I bought their own home in Kannapolis so that they do have a place to go.
Well, good for you. I mean, we all try and buy them homes. I mean, we all lost our homes. Your wife still has that home, so basically, if you divorce, you should be getting half.
Right.
No. I foreclosed on that house, that original house. I bought my kids a new home after the divorce.
Oh, okay. So did I, and they never came. Yeah. I built 2 homes for them.
They got to see their house, and then they got to enjoy all the pleasures of it. And then their mom didn't like all the fun they were having at my house, and that's when I never seen them again.
Yeah, well, you're lucky you got to do that. My kids never came. 20 years. Not once.
Oh, well, I paid for that time. That was the custody time that I paid for.
Well, so did I. I mean, millions do. You're not the only one. You have fallen into the same trap as millions. And this is why we do these podcasts, so that we can bring recognition to the family court system on what they're doing and how they're treating our children.
the hard part is that they can keep the child whenever they want and not let the other parent see it, and there's no repercussions. You have to
That's
actually
right.
go through the court. You got to go through the court system and pay all this money just to say, let me see my kid again. And
Yeah.
I stopped doing that. I stopped paying for freedom.
There has to come to a time where you have to stop. You can't keep going. I had to
I
step back
decided
too and say, look, you're all 18. You
oh
can't, you
yeah,
cannot.
we got to wait for them to escape their abusers.
Yes, exactly. Same way we escaped our abusers. Our children are in the same
Yeah.
position, right? But because they're relying on the abuser to give them conditional love. That's why they're staying. They get all these gifts, all these perks, anything they want just to keep them away
Oh
from
yeah,
you.
well, from what I understand, it's more like in my children's case, a Cinderella / Rapunzel. All three of my daughters are Rapunzel, but on the inside, it's more like Cinderella, where mom turned 2 or 1 against the other 2, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what they do. They turn the kids against each other so that they all have a different
And that's how they
story.
keep the control. Keep
Yeah,
control.
keep control.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's because it brain damages them. I mean, it's no different than a survivor that suffered domestic abuse. Their brains are wired differently. Well, our children are going through the same thing, and they cannot deal with
That's why I created.
handling this adult problems. And this is why your
That's why I created
children.
Dry Hollow Village.
You created what?
Dry Hollow Village. It's a mountain I bought out here in Tennessee. I own a whole valley.
Oh, nice.
And a
Nice.
place to come out here to reconnect and reconnect with nature and find ways to communicate better with each other.
Well, you said your 22-year-old reached out. You've got a lot of hope because, eventually she's going to break the other two free for you.
I was hoping to at least break one of them free so we can get the other 2 free.
Yes, that's what
But
I'm saying. Hopefully
we're
your
going to see
oldest
what
one.
happens. I got a court date October 10th, and my lawyer's working on it. She's pulling all the video footage for all the incidents. So,
Well, that's good.
yeah.
So you've got a lawyer that you can rely on, depend on. I mean, is he doing a good job? He, she, whoever. Are they
She's a
siding
public
with?
defender.
She said, "Oh,
She's a public defender, so I'm not paying for it.
that's
The citizens of Charlotte are paying for it.
oh, really?
I decided I'm never going to pay for my children's freedom. And if I have to go to jail or go to court to bring this back out, I will do that because you can't go to court for adult children. There's no custody battle there. They're adults, everyone says. They can make up their own mind.
You can't go to court for
That's
adult
everything I hear
children.
from
You
everybody.
can't
Your
bring
daughters
them to
are old
court.
enough. They can make up their own mind. They can leave when they want.
Okay, you're coming in broken. So talk a little slower. And I'm going to repeat something. You cannot bring back
They
adult
usually,
children. Is that what you said?
most people,
Okay, let me
yeah, you
finish.
can't take adult children back to court for
No,
custody.
but the adult children can bring you back to court. They can sue you
For what?
for neglect, estrangement. It's really horrible what they're allowing our children to do, because this is what kids are doing now as adults. They're bringing back the alienated parent, saying you didn't
Well, they
want
can't
anything to do
because
with me.
I actually had an original. I couldn't communicate with my children. There was a no contact order between me and my children that they put. So I wasn't leaving my children. We were forced not to communicate with each other. And I just
Right.
decided that my children will reach out when they're old enough. And so after that 1 year went by and I didn't go back to court, and then 2 years went by, and then 3 years went by, 4 years, 5 years. And then my 22-year-old calls after 7 years saying that her mother's keeping her and she loves and misses me. And now I still can't talk to my 22-year-old. Nobody can get in contact with her.
But that's your
Nobody.
daughter's right to talk to you. You can't stop her from talking to you.
Just like you're saying to me now, like everyone tells me, your children are adults. They can talk to you whenever they want.
Yes.
But no, they can't because
they're bound to silence.
Prison. They've
already been
imprisoned
paid off. They've gotten the perks.
No, they haven't been able to leave this house in 13 years. They've been locked in this home. The only time they've ever left was with their mother.
Okay, but they are going to school. They're going out.
My 22-year-old gets dropped off at school by her mother and gets picked up right after school by her mother. She's never driven a car. None of my kids have driven a car.
Okay, so how is she keeping them like that? I mean, that's against their free will.
Okay, exactly.
So why aren't you getting someone in there to help? Like CAS. I mean, that's solitary confinement, right?
Because I'm the dad and I'm not allowed to.
But that's
nobody cares about this issue. Nobody cares about children in this situations.
No, they don't. They don't care.
Nobody does.
They don't care. And the more you complain, the more
children to naturally break free from their abusers. And that's why we have so many abuse children out there.
Yeah, and then they're going to abuse the next generation worse than what they've been because now they've learned it.
Well, that's where we're sitting at now because this has been going on for decades. Decades.
Yeah, I know. My ex-husband was alienated for 65 years. 65. Yeah. So
we bred our own. We reap what we sow. We bred our own society.
That's right. So. Well, not really the alienated parent does, but the targeted parent or the alienating parent, they know their moves. It's a chess game to them. They use our children as a pawn and they play the board. They move these kids whichever way they want.
But I would like to offer her forgiveness and help her with her journey through life and try to help figure out her demons because she still is the mother of my children.
Right. But that's for her to decide.
Well, once the children escape, it's for the children to decide how to let her into their life.
Right. But it's for her to decide how she gets the help. You can't give her any.
Well,
and you can't diagnose her.
Communication with her. No, but we can still keep a communication. It's all about communication.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Andy, what do you think?
Goes along the way.
Well, that's right. It's a slow process, and it costs a lot of money. There, how do you are you able to provide for yourself while paying all these court costs?
I don't pay any court costs. All my lawyer fees were done way back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got a public defender for this coming up, and I usually represent myself for most of my other criminal stuff.
Oh, wow.
But this is kind of serious stuff. Now, this is the time.
Go ahead. You got to walk your dog, Mary.
Yeah, we got a couple more minutes here. So your court case is coming up on October
10th.
10th. Okay. So we're gonna hope for the best for you, and we'll have you back on the show so you could give us an update on what happened. Okay.
That would be awesome.
That would be great. We'd really appreciate it. Sorry for cutting the time down, but it's getting dark out here and I have my dog to walk and don't walk in the dark. I don't trust anybody anymore.
Well, thank you for having me.
You're welcome, Kristen.
No
thank
problem.
You for
nice meeting you. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for joining Andy and I.
You're always welcome to come out to Dralo Village and get a campsite and we go kayaking, catch some trout.
No, that'd be nice. Hey,
family
Andy,
time
let's
out
go
here.
up to the mountains.
For sure. It's beautiful country down there. Definitely. Tennessee has a lot of beautiful spots.
Yeah, I've been there a few times. Those mountains, going around those mountains, don't fall asleep. That's all I got to say. But anyways, thank you, Kristen. Thanks so much. Alienated parents, grandparents, alienated children out there, please never give up on your loved ones. No matter what you think of us, we still love you. You'll always be loved. No matter what, you'll always be our children. So if you've got any things you'd like to share with us viewers and like to come on to Let's Talk Real Talk, please message Andy Martens and myself, Mary Auld-Kovacs, and we'll get you on the show. And don't forget to tune back in October with Kristen Aiken live from Tennessee mountains. Thanks again, Kristen, Andy, thank you. And everyone, have a pleasant evening. Good night.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you, Mary. You have a great night.
You too.
Good night, everybody.